Here in Tampa, Florida, covering the GOP convention. Honored to be joined by Congressman Tim Scott of South Carolina. Palmetto State, good to see you, sir.
Good to be with you. Thank you very much. Thank you for all that you guys do as well. This is a fantastic opportunity for the nation to see the NRA in action.
Congressman, let me ask you a question. According to an NBC News poll, you don't exist, sir. There's no such thing as a black conservative. If you don't mind, I'm going to touch you. You are real. You're not an apparition. You're not a hologram.
Absolutely. Really me.
Yeah. What do you think when you see a poll like that and nonsense like that?
It's just. It would be funny if we were not in the middle of an election year. The fact of the matter is that I believe that African Americans, black folk, will vote for Mitt Romney in a strong number this year. When you look at the dismal performance of the president, unemployment rate for black folk is up by 40% according to some polls. The home closures are up by over 25%. So to say that simply because the president happens to be black, that folks should support him for that reason, it's just false. We should support the guy that represents the best future for America, and that guy is Mitt Romney.
Now, I know your district includes the South Carolina Low Country, a very beautiful area, but there's a lot of economically depressed areas as well. And what is your solution for that as a congressman and representing your constituents, and how will a Romney-Ryan ticket help to your district?
Private sector job growth has got to be the key. When you look at the people who employ folks, it's 99% of people work for small businesses. So the fact is that the more red tape that we remove, the better off business owners are going to be. When you talk about cutting taxes, tax reform is an absolute necessity for job growth. If you don't extend the Bush tax cuts for all Americans, we lose another 700,000 jobs. Military sequestration, something that Congress has been wrestling with. If we do what the president has said that he's going to do, we'll lose about $1 trillion over the next 10 years to the military. That means 1 million private sector jobs and 200,000 men and women in uniform. So one of the things that we can do to strengthen the economy at home is to make sure that common sense stays a part of the process in Washington. That means extending the Bush tax cuts for all Americans. It means avoiding military sequestration by cutting somewhere else. If we do those two things, it's almost 2 million more Americans who are able to continue to work.
Congressman, one of our fellow SiriusXM hosts is David Webb, prominent black conservative Tea Party activist. And on his Twitter feed, he retweets a lot of the hate he gets. And it starts at Uncle Tom and it goes up to the worst. Yeah, the worst curse words. As a congressman, I hope people have more respect, for you, but I'm sure you hear the same comments and you've heard the same comments. And as a human being, it's got to hurt at some point, but how do you deflect it?
Well, man, number one, absolutely. If you lose your sensitivity, I think that's not a good thing, unfortunately. But there have been times in our office where we had to shut down our phone lines for a couple hours because of racially divisive words that are coming in. And unfortunately, some of those folks who are calling in are coming in from the very black community, and that's a challenge for all of us. But at the end of the day, what we have to realize, to focus our attention on, is the fact that our job is to make sure that America grows stronger, healthier, and better for all Americans, black Americans and all Americans. But the fact of the matter is, when you use the lowest common denominator of fear to win elections, you're not making America better, you're not making black folk better, you're not making anybody better. So you've got to find a way to make sure that the way you win matters.
When you look back at 2008 in the Obama campaign, we were talking about the phrase post-racial politics. I think, if you look at this country right now, we're more divided than ever. Everyone's slivered in different, I myself am a Jewish Republican, so I'm like you, I don't exist either. So, how do we get away from these slivering of different sections and get into be more just American?
Governor Romney. I think Governor Romney really is part of the answer. The fact of the matter is, President Obama truly, although I did not vote for him, he had a wonderful opportunity to have a message of hope and change.
You said President
Obama.
Right, okay.
He had an opportunity to bring America together. He blew it.
Yeah.
He blew it because he decided to go towards the lowest common denominator of fear. President Romney will do the exact opposite. He will bring America together because he understands that unemployment issues anywhere are unemployment issues everywhere. He understands that focusing on a solution for just one group of folks doesn't work, but that when the tide rises, all boats go up. So I believe that Mitt Romney will provide us an opportunity to bring the country back together, to quit this rage and division warfare that we're seeing in the nation today, and eliminate the cultural war that we unfortunately find ourselves a part of right now.
Congressman, there's almost an expectation among some in the black community that you have to vote for Obama just because he's black as well. What do you say to people like that?
Well, number one, vote your values. Vote your values. That is the message that everyone needs to understand, that if we vote our values, we get a better nation. If the nation's better, the black community's better, the white community's better, the Hispanic community's better, we're all better. So if we just vote our values, Mitt Romney will be the next president of the United States, and we'll have a better, brighter, and more powerful future for all Americans.
Last question, tell me about the tradition of the Second Amendment in your state and your use and practice with guns.
Yeah, Rick Perry said it the best. Yeah, the whole concept of gun rights is to use both hands. And I think that certainly is very powerful and also very true. Yeah. And we in South Carolina support the Second Amendment probably as much as any state in the nation.